Good morning. Here we are, day 8. Day 8. We're going to see what the court will bring us today. Good morning, whoever just joined me now. Day 8. Day 8. All right. So yesterday we learned about the license plates. All right, whoever popped in, good morning. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, now you're off. Well, anyway, if you haven't been here before, my name is Hot Coffee Chats. My real name is Nancy. And I am a trained journalist, and I am here to bring you a live courtroom coverage of the missing moms trial with Michelle Troconis. So we haven't been. So excuse me. God, I don't know. So here we are. We're waiting for the trial to start, and we're gonna see what today brings us in our world of court. All right, sorry, I'm just kind of getting picked up from messing up from last night from my other fun little hobby. Kind of getting organized, waiting for court, waiting for all of you to come on. Okay, it's almost 10 o'clock. All right, well, here we are. Waiting for court to start. And looks like there's some kind of movement going on. Yep. Looks like we might be starting. Is your cameras shifting? Good morning. Court hasn't started yet. Glad you came in. This is day 8. Be interesting what kind of surprises we'll see today, huh? So far we saw the license plates and how they fudged it. And question is, now that's remaining, who did it? Good morning, Debbie. There were some interesting things on the world of the YouTubers with this case. One person, I won't name any names, said that they think that maybe perhaps Michelle was involved in messing around with the license plates. Yeah, interesting. Oh, yeah, okay. Use black tape. I thought it was kind of an interesting take on it, but I don't know. At this moment, I just think everything is just up for speculation at this point. I don't know. Speculation. I don't really see too much hardcore theories that will be pointing to anything just yet, but I don't know. Is it chilling evidence? Saw that on the internet. On the world of YouTube. I don't know. It's interesting to go through all those. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through those and I'm going to make some notes and do some comments. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. I'm looking forward to what they have on her. Yeah. So far, it looks like they are just building up to it. I totally agree with you, Debbie. I think they're building the plot as they go. And I think right now is quite interesting with the license plates. I'm really interested in what's next today. I am. I think this is the most exciting. This is the most let me rephrase that. This is the most excited I've been so far. I woke up and thinking, wow, wonder what they have now today. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the videos are still planting seeds in my head. It is her in the video. I mean, in the car. But can we actually physically get there is the question. just like what John said. I mean, can we prove that? Then he keeps me grounded on my theories. But you know what? We'll just wait and see. But I don't know. I think so, but can we prove it? I don't know. Excuse me. Morning sinuses. All right. Who else jumped in today? We are on day 8, and yesterday we saw some license plates that went through, was recovered in a sewer, and it was in a FedEx envelope, and they took it out. They noticed things were a little, well, not a little, but they were fudged. Oh, they're fudged, meaning they want to cover up the fact that was their license plates. So, and they run the plates. The real authentic plates, and I believe they were able to put it on one of the vehicles that Fotis owned. I think it was a Chevy, not registered, a Suburban. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the evidence is now in the chain of custody. And I don't think they testify exactly what was in the packages. I think it was just in to verify it. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that today. I'm assuming. That sounds good enough, Debbie. Sounds good enough. Yeah. I always like to get different intakes on these cases. I like to look at different ways to view it and see if I can come up with something different, or to change the needle in the way I'm thinking. Does it challenge me? And often it does. It challenges me. And sometimes it moves a little bit of a needle. Excuse me. So if you're just popping in, here we are. And I like to thank those who are popping back in. Always good to see you guys. Always good to see you. Let me see if I can entertain ourselves and find maybe some things to look at while we are waiting for court. Usually that's always fun to do, just kind of looking at other stuff. Let's see what they have. Okay, just one moment here while we're waiting. Let me see if I can find. I'm trying to find something I can play and won't get in trouble. Yeah. Hello. Good morning. Who just popped in? Okay. Never mind. Trial starting. I was going to find something, but you know what? In the future, I think I'm going to start with that.
Good morning. Please be seated. Thank you.
All right. Good morning. Who just popped in? Let's see what the
Continue this morning.
cry about this morning.
Which witnesses the state plan to call this morning?
Good morning, Your Honor. With respect to today, the state intends this morning to offer Sergeant Duggan up for examination. Sergeant Duggan is the individual who sees the garbage from the garbage can. I do have numerous exhibits I plan on introducing through him today. So that will be the morning, and then the afternoon we have a few witnesses that have to do with additional video surveillance that was obtained.
Thank you. Is Sergeant Duggan here?
He is right outside, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's first bring the jury in, please.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to have Sergeant Duggan in, and we're going to have some more of the video surveillance. Good morning. All righty, sounds good, Moonfox. Glad that you're back. I wonder if you have anything to argue this morning. I'm waiting for something from him. Gosh, I gotta look up the attorney's name. It just went, forgot his name. There she is.
Would counsel stipulate, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We continue now with the state's witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Kevin Duggan to the stand.
Kevin, nothing. He didn't say anything this morning, you guys. He was usually has something to say.
Have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Kevin Duggan is on the stand. For those of you doing something else, you're listening. You got to have your earbud in. Thanks for reminding me. Gotta put mine in. Okay. There we go.
Do you solemnly swear or solemnly
Here we
assist you
go.
that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do.
Please state your name and spell it for the record.
Sure. It's Kevin Duggan, KEVIN,
And your affiliation?
I'm a sergeant with the Connecticut.
Don't
State
forget to hit the like
Sergeant, you
button.
may be
It
seated.
warms my heart.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yes.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Sir, how long have you worked for the Connecticut State Police?
Approximately 16 years.
And are you assigned to a particular division or department within the state police?
Yes, I'm assigned to the Central District Major Crime Squad.
What areas does the Central District Major Crime Squad cover?
The central part of the state in and around Hartford.
And within that Central
Good
District
morning, who
Major
just
Crime
popped in.
Squad, are you assigned to a particular specialization or division?
Yes, I'm assigned to the crime van.
And when we say van, what does that mean?
It's a van or truck, as you will, and basically it is a mobile crime lab.
Do you have any specialized training or experience with respect to being a sergeant on the van?
Yes, I've been assigned to multiple crime scene processing classes, homicide conferences, police involved shooting conferences, and several other classes.
How many years have you worked for or within the van or the in the state police?
Approximately 7 years now.
And how long have you been a sergeant of the van?
Approximately a year and a half.
Could you briefly describe, well, actually, if I could draw that, were you working on the van in 2019? What was your assignment or I guess I should rank at that time.
I was a detective,
Who was your sergeant?
Sergeant Ralph Soda.
And who did you work with on the van at Central District?
It was Detective Lindsay Valcourt, Detective Pete Farr, Detective Daniel DeJesus, and Detective Steve Soares.
I'm going to draw your attention now to May 30th of 2019. Did you respond to Albany Avenue in Hartford on that day?
I did.
What time did you respond?
It was in the early afternoon hours, early evening.
What was your assignment?
My assignment was to check certain trash receptacle areas within the city and seize the trash
When did you get that assignment?
that afternoon.
Who gave it to you?
Sergeant Ralph Soda,
And who were you with on Albany Avenue that night?
Detective Mike Hamill, and Detective Peter Farr.
So did any, or what information did you have, if any, before you went out to Albany Avenue that evening?
Basically, that Western District Major Crime Squad was investigating the disappearance of a Jennifer Dulos, and that their suspect had allegedly thrown out trash within the city of Hartford.
Did you know what day that was?
I believe she went missing on the 24th of May.
And the day that you were on Albany or given that assignment was what day?
Was May 30th.
Did you go in anywhere in particular on Albany Avenue?
Yes,
Where did you go?
we went to 3 different locations in Albany Avenue.
And what were they?
The first one was Albany and Garden Street. The second one was Albany and Blue Hills Ave. And the third location was Albany and Green Street.
No. Your Honor, for the record, I'm playing states 36. May I just inquire if everybody's televisions are on? Yes, thank you. So I'm going to draw your attention to the screen behind you if you can. It's 36. Sir, do you recognize that intersection?
I do.
And with respect to, is that the area that you responded to?
Yes,
And you mentioned Garden Street. Is Garden Street portrayed on that video?
it is.
Okay. Can you please, if you wouldn't mind, Your Honor, sir, if you wouldn't mind heading up to the screen and just pointing out where Garden Street is.
Before you proceed,
Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney Manning. Sergeant, that's a concave view of Garden and Albany, is it not? Because they do not run parallel to each other, they're perpendicular, is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
No, sir, did you go to that address on May 30th?
I did.
And were you in uniform?
I was in a major crime uniform
And what was your assignment when you got to that address?
to seize the trash at that location.
What did you have a procedure or process you were utilizing that night?
Yes.
What was that procedure?
So we had brought our own industrial-sized trash bags, and we removed the trash from the trash receptacles and placed them into our trash bags and subsequently seized it.
Did you go through the garbage containers on scene?
We looked inside of them, confirmed there was trash in them, seized the trash, and then brought the trash back to the Troop H barracks in Hartford.
Why didn't you go through the trash on scene in the corner of Albany and Garden?
It was an unsecure environment.
Where did you bring the trash to?
The Troop H barracks in Hartford?
Did you have a procedure at Troop H to go through the trash that was obtained from those garbage canisters?
Yes.
And what was that procedure?
Basically, we went into the garage at Troop H and we laid out a bunch of brown butcher block paper on the ground, and we labeled it, each trash bag that we seized, we labeled as to the location where we seized it. And the trash was dumped out onto those, under that butcher block paper, so we could search it and process it.
Now, sir, if you can refer to the screen behind you, states 36, is the garbage container that you seized the trash from depicted on that screen?
It is.
If you wouldn't mind, please going up to the screen and pointing that out. For the record, he's pointing to the middle, center, right, or left, actually, of the screen. Did you go anywhere else in that area?
I did.
Where did you go?
I searched, there was a set of dumpsters on the side of the building. I searched that area, and I searched this trash can right here, and I searched this side of the building.
So starting with the right side of the screen, where the dumpsters are, how did
Good
you
morning.
search those?
I climbed in the dumpster and started searching.
Did you know what you were looking for? or
Just
were you
came
looking for
in. This
anything
is
in
who's on the
particular?
stand.
Items of evidentiary value.
Yeah, did you find anything or seize anything out of those dumpsters?
No,
Now, while you were in the dumpster, did you speak to anybody?
I did.
And without telling me what that person said, did you take any action?
Yes.
What action did you take?
I subsequently seized the trash can, the trash contents of this trash can in front of the restaurant.
And did you go through the trash of that trash can as well?
I did.
And so the items that you seized were both the bottom left, and then there's a trash can on the center middle. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. If I may have one moment with counsel, Your Honor.
We're getting to the trash.
If I may, Your Honor, states 42 is only ID. I'm going to for the record, shut the TV off behind the witness. And if I may just approach that small screen on the front. So I'm going to draw your attention to this screen right in front of you. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I just inquired of it so you can see it, Your Honor.
Oh, good. There's captions.
Under states 42 for ID, sir, if you can, just take a look at that, what is displayed on that screen. This is image 1. Do you recognize that image?
I do.
And what is it?
That's the trash can at the corner of Albany and Garden Street.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
And did you seize trash from that photograph?
I did.
I mean, not from the photograph. Did you seize trash from the can that is represented in that photograph?
I did.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of what that garbage can looked like that day on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
State would offer 1.
No objection. The number is 1.
1, Your Honor.
States 1 admitted as a full exhibit.
I believe it's picture 1. I apologize, Your Honor. States 42, picture 1, file 1.
Thank you. States 42, photo 1, file 1.
Thank you, sir. If you can just take a look behind you, is that the garbage can that you seized or looked into that night?
It is.
Okay, did you take any action with respect to that actual garbage can?
We did.
What did you do?
I photographed it before seizing it. I emptied the trash contents of that trash can into our own trash bags, and then we seized the actual trash can itself.
Why did you seize the actual trash can?
We had information that a person of interest that dumped the trash in the trash can had touched it, and we were going to try and get DNA from the trash can.
By the way, at this point on May 30th, 2019, were you working at all in with Western District Major Crimes?
No,
Did you have any personal knowledge or information directly with respect to the investigation component of the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos on that day?
no,
So you seized the garbage can itself. Did you log it into evidence?
we did.
And did you give it an evidence number?
We did.
For the record, I'm shutting the screen off. On States 42, sir, I'm going to direct your attention to file 1, photo 3. If you could take a look at that, sir, and it's going to be on the screen in front of you. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted?
It's the trash can with the lid removed.
And is that the same trash can that we just saw on the first photograph in this file?
It is.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what that trash can looked like on May 30th, 2019, when it
Yeah.
was seized?
Yes.
State would offer it.
I just have a couple of dear questions, if I may, regarding this photograph. This picture number 3, it's obviously not on Albany Avenue anymore, is it?
It's not.
So exactly where was this picture taken?
Garden?
This was taken at the Troop H garage at the Troop H barracks in Hartford.
Oh, okay.
Did you dismantle that trash receptacle yourself?
I did.
And then you took this picture?
I did.
And this is before or after you removed the items from the barrel?
Afterwards.
After, okay. I have no objection.
And the exhibit number, please.
42, file 1, picture 3.
States
Okay.
42, file number 1, photograph 3, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. Sir, I'm going to direct your attention to the screen behind you. And could you please explain what's depicted in that photograph, please?
The trash can placed on brown butcher block paper with the trash can lid next to it.
And the location of where this photograph was taken?
The Troop H garage at the Troop H barracks in Hartford.
Now, there's a number on the bottom right, the 499. What does that mean?
So the trash can was given an evidence number, which was 499.
What about the A on the left-hand side?
So that was given the letter A. It was 499A, basically A meaning it was a part of 499.
Thank you, sir. Now, while you're back at Albany Avenue and Garden Street, did you remove, or how did you remove all of the garbage that was contained inside that garbage can?
So there were 3 of us, and one held the trash bag open, and the other lifted the trash can and emptied the trash into the trash bag.
And did you take a photograph, sir, of the trash can after it was emptied?
I did.
I'm going to draw your attention to the picture on the screen in front of you, if I can. States 42, file 1, picture 2 for ID. Sir, do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
The trash can once it's emptied.
State would offer it, or I'm sorry, I have to ask the foundation question. Is that a fair and accurate representation of what the garbage can looked like after it was emptied? on May 30th, 2019.
Yes,
Thank you. Now I would offer it, Your Honor.
Again, just a couple of questions. Again, this picture was taken after you removed the garbage from the receptacle, correct?
yes,
And this is what you saw left in there as you peered into it with the cover removed and all of the items that were in it. Well, I don't want to say all, we'll get to see that. All the garbage bags or whatever garbage was in that bag was removed at that point, correct?
yes.
I have no objection.
So stage 42,
File 1, photo 2.
file 1, photo 2, entered as a full exhibit.
Sir, is that the photograph of the picture of the garbage after you had removed its contents?
Yes.
What did you do with the contents after you had placed it in the bag?
We transported that back to the Troop H garage in Hartford.
Did you also give it a evidence number?
We did.
What evidence number did you give that?
I believe it was evidence exhibit 500.
Could I hear that number, please?
Could you repeat the number, please?
Evidence exhibit 500.
Thank you.
So I'm going to show you the screen in front of you. States 42, file 1, picture 4. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is that picture?
That's the trash from the trash can at the corner of Albany and Garden Street. That's what it looked like once we put the trash from that trash can into our own trash bag.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like that day?
It is.
No objection to this image.
The state would offer it, Your Honor.
Stage 42,
File 1, picture 4.
file 1, photo 4, admitted as a full exhibit.
Sir, if you could take a look at the screen behind you, just a question or two. There's writing on the bottom left of that photograph. What does that say?
So it says Albany and Garden, and that was just placed there to identify where the trash was from in the photograph.
At some point, did you empty the contents of that bag?
We did,
Where did you empty the contents of that bag onto?
onto that brown paper.
Take a look at the picture in front of you, sir. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the trash once it's emptied onto the brown paper.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of what all the trash looked like when you emptied it onto the brown paper on May 30th, 2019?
Yes.
State would offer it.
May I inquire?
Yes.
We're looking at Exhibit 5 from File 1 within that disk, so, which for the record is Exhibit 42 for ID. So I just want to ask you, first of all, there's some writing on the brown paper. Did you put that writing there?
Yes.
Were these items that are now shown, displayed on this brown paper, were they loose like this, or were they in something in particular?
So this is the picture of once it's emptied out onto the brown paper.
And were they all emptied out of that black garbage bag that you talked about?
Yes.
And that included a stained white T-shirt that we see in this image, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Now
Well,
we're going beyond the
well,
ordeer.
Well, this is an ID exhibit,
Mm,
and council's reference now is the content in an ID exhibit.
going before.
So as far as
You're jumping.
voir dire is concerned, the
ahead.
court is not going to permit questions concerning the content of an ID exhibit.
Fair enough, Your Honor. I will ask a different question. Is what is depicted in this image, did it all come out of that garbage bag that you testified to, or was some of this elsewhere?
No, it all came out of that trash bag.
Oh, okay. Then I do not object to this.
So states 42, file 1, photo 5? Is that
Yes, sir.
correct? Admitted as a full exhibit.
If you can, sir, take a look at the screen behind you.
This is what I was waiting
With
for.
respect to the
Yuck.
items, I guess, on the right hand.
Yuck.
It looks like one item, the T-shirt in the upper left hand, has been splayed out. Did you splay that out?
Yes,
Okay, why did you do that?
just to show an overall representation of the item.
Was that item seized as evidence?
It was.
And why was it seized as evidence?
So
I'm going to object to why it was seized, and then we can move on from there. I don't, he needs to explain why certain items were in fact.
I
Oh,
claim it, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Thank you. Why did you seize that as evidence?
So it was a white T-shirt with what appeared to be a blood-like substance on the T-shirt.
Oh,
We found that suspicious.
Did you seize anything else that came out of that garbage can, or garbage bag, I should say?
No,
ooh, garbage. Yeah. Hi, good morning.
Now, you indicated that you also
But a
obtained
bloody
another garbage
t-shirt.
bag. Is that correct?
correct.
And was that the other
Not
garbage
just
container?
any
that was
ordinary
closer to the building?
garbage in there,
Yes.
I'm going to
mommy.
draw your attention to photograph in front of you,
Oh.
sir.
No
Do you
wonder.
recognize what's depicted in that
Hans is
photograph?
probably
I do.
nervous in this
What is it?
service.
So that's the contents of the trash can that was closest to the building, Milagros Restaurant.
And this is not, well, oh, I apologize, Your Honor. That's my fault. With respect to the screen, for the record, the screen is off. It was on for a little bit, but I did shut it off. With respect to this photograph, sir, is this a fair and accurate representation of the garbage that you seized from that garbage can?
It is.
I don't know if you heard me, mommy, but good
State would offer it,
morning.
Your Honor.
Getting a couple of bloodier questions. The outer bag.
Here's a
that-
witness.
Is that something you put it in, or is this how you?
I think it
found
is because they had to swear him in.
Trash receptacle
Excuse
next to the
me.
building?
I think it was a
For
different-
this trash bag,
Yeah.
this is how we found it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. And again, there's some writing on
yes,
this.
different
correct?
witness,
Correct.
I believe.
And then there's a name and
They swore him in.
and some other letters. Did you write that?
I did.
Is that is that a name of a person or name of a
Let me
building?
put that in chat.
It's the name of the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
New witness.
And that we've already looked at the image or the stop screen from the C4 cameras. Is that the name of the place next to where this trash receptacle was that you took this
Sorry,
out
had
of?
a
Yes.
little sign this morning.
I have no
Yeah,
That's state 42, file 1. Which photograph, please?
6, Your Honor.
Photograph 6, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. And while we're here, before I show that, Your Honor, if I may, sir, take a look at photo 7. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the contents of the trash once it's displayed out onto the brown paper.
When you say contents of the trash displayed on the brown paper, is this the trash that was in the preceding photograph?
Correct.
Okay, and did you take that photograph?
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what the trash looked like once you displayed it on brown paper that day?
It is.
State would offer the photo 7 as well.
No objection.
State 42, file 1, photograph 7, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. Sir, take a look behind you, please.
ooh. What's this moment I've been waiting for, the garbage?
And that was I noticed this is in a clear plastic bag. You didn't put that in a black bag as well?
No, we didn't because that trash was all contained within that clear bag. The other trash was loose within a plastic trash bin.
And the writing on the bottom left, if you could please explain what that means.
So Albany and Garden are the streets, the street corner. And then Milagros Convenience Building is the restaurant, which this trash can was right up against.
When you went to that area and seized that trash bag, if I may, back to States 36, sir, can you just point again where you went and seized that bag from? And for the record, the middle upper part of the screen. Sir, what day was this again?
This was May 30th.
On May 30th, when you went to that area, did you find any WeatherTech liners?
No,
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir. Now, picture 7, if you can take a look behind you, sir. What does that depict?
that's a picture of the overall contents of the trash at that location.
Now, did you go anywhere else after Albany and Garden?
We did.
Where did you go?
The next location we went to was Albany and Blue Hills Ave.
And then I'm going back to States 36. Sir, if you can take a look at the screen behind you, you can. Do you see the intersection that you went to on May 30th, 2019?
I do.
And if you can, sir, please, if you can go up to the screen. Did you go to any garbage canisters that are depicted on that screen?
I did.
Which garbage canisters did you go to? For the record, upper, middle, or right side of the screen, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, did you go anywhere else?
After this?
No, in that area depicted on that screen.
No.
Now, with respect to this area on the upper right hand corner where the cursor is, do you see that street, sir?
I do.
What street is that?
That's Blue Hills Ave.
Did you seize this garbage canister itself, similar to what you did at Garden Street?
No, for this trash can, we just seized the items within it, not the actual trash.
Okay, why did you do that?
So for this particular one, we had no information that the interest had touched the trash can, so we did not find it necessary to seize the trash can just.
And this is going
If
back
the court
to,
may, Attorney Manning.
yes.
Sergeant, would you identify the intersection that you identified a moment ago and pointed out?
Sure. Blue Hills Ave. Albany.
Is not that Adams Street and Albany Avenue?
My understanding is Blue Hills Ave.
It's not Blue Hills Avenue where the camera is, but the intersection on the right side of the video is Adams Street and Albany Avenue.
I perhaps can clarify if I can, Your Honor. And if I may, on States 42, photo 7 has already come in through Sergeant Ventresca. Actually, sorry, it is not on here. I have to go back. Oh, I do. Thank you. And again, this is already admitted through Sergeant Ventresca.
Do
So
you at least have the exhibit number?
it's still on Exhibit 42. With respect to Sergeant Ventresca, it would be on date than this was. Do you have an updated? Yeah, if I can, I'll find the number on another date. Sir, do you recognize where the intersection is? Is it depicted on that screen in front of you?
I know there's a restaurant I'm trying to find that can reference it.
And what's the restaurant, sir?
It's Scott's Jamaican Bakery.
Okay, and you mentioned Scott's Jamaican Bakery. Why do you recall that?
Because that restaurant, the trash can was right in front of it, and that trash can was at the corner of those intersections.
Okay, so is it safe to say you don't remember exactly the road names?
Correct.
Okay, but you remember Scott's Jamaican Bakery?
I do.
Okay. And with respect to Scott's Jamaican Bakery, going back to seats 36, sir, do you have is Scott's Jamaican Bakery depicted in that screen now?
It is.
If you could please point to it. Okay.
That's
And
the
you-
awning from the restaurant.
Okay. With respect to that intersection in that area, did you find, or did you go to any other garbage canisters?
At this intersection, no.
You can have a seat, sir. Thank you. What did you do once you got to this intersection?
We documented the area with photographs, and then we seized the trash from that trash can at that intersection.
I'm going to have you take a look at the screen in front of you, sir. Do you recognize what's depicted on that screen?
I do.
What is depicted?
The trash can that we seized the trash from, and the Scott's Jamaican Bakery.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what that area looked like on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
The state would offer it, Your Honor.
No objection.
I'm
Stage
gonna
42, file 1,
actually file 2,
file 2,
picture 1.
photo 1, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you, sir. I'm gonna continue, if I can, just draw your attention to the screen in front of you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph?
I do.
What is?
That's the overall contents of the trash before we seized it.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like that
It
day?
is.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
The state would offer that as well.
May I briefly, this image, which is image 2 in this folder. Was this everything that was in that receptacle when you took off the cover and peered in?
Yes.
Did you see everything that's in this image?
Yes.
No objection.
Stage 42, file 2,
Picture 2.
photo 2, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. Sir, if you can continue looking at your screen in front of you, what's depicted on the screen, please?
That's the contents of the trash can once we remove the items from it.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of what the contents of the trash can look like after you remove the items?
Correct.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
State would offer it.
And quick one here, if I may.
Yes.
Did you take the, what we call the remnants or debris shown in this photograph with you? Did you clean that out or remove any of those?
That I don't recall.
No objection.
Stage 42, file 2,
Picture 3.
photo 3, admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. Sir, continue if you can, looking at the screen in front of you. Do you see what's depicted on the screen?
I do.
Do you recognize it?
I do.
What is it?
So that is the brown paper laid out with the location handwritten in the bottom left and the trash that we seized within the trash bag that we provide.
Is that back at the Troop H garage?
Correct.
And did you take that photograph?
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
The state would offer it, Your Honor.
Again, I just want to clarify if I may. This isn't all the items you took out of that receptacle in front of the bakery, is it?
That's what we took.
Just what's shown in this image?
Correct.
I thought when you testified just minutes ago, we saw a picture that there were all these other items, like white bags. How is this?
Objection, Your Honor. He's going into cross-examination. This is voir dire.
So the initial voir dire question was, does this bag contain all of the items that was, all of the items that were in the receptacle in front of Scott's Bakery? And the response was yes.
Maybe one clarification question. What we're actually seeing in this image isn't physically what you see out of the receptacle, is it?
This is our trash bag with the trash inside of it.
But you can't see anything inside. This is what you put everything in. Is that what you're telling us?
Correct, in this photograph.
Fight hard. That's what
Let's
he's
have a
doing.
moment.
He's fighting hard. Mommy, you're right. He does
With that
not
clarification, I have no objection.
want this
Stage
dump him
42,
in.
file 2,
Photo 4.
photograph 4, admitted as a full exhibit.
Sir, take a look at the screen in front of you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted?
That's the trash once it's emptied out onto the brown paper in the garage.
So just to be clear, this was the trash that was inside that canister on what street?
Albany and Blue Hills or Adams,
Outside the Jamaican Bakery?
outside the Jamaican Bakery restaurant.
Okay. And what did you do with that trash?
We searched it.
Okay. Did you put the trash into a black bag?
We did.
Okay. And then when you got to Troop H, did you empty the contents of that bag?
We,
What did you empty it onto?
brown paper.
Is this photograph depicting that trash onto that paper?
It is.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of what that looked like that day?
Yes.
State would offer it.
Let's talk trash.
Can I just have a moment?
Yes.
If you just joined us, we were looking at trash. Trash. Garbage. Junk. But we did find a bloody shirt. Yeah, we did.
May I inquire just again to clarify? When you say this is what was inside your large contractor bag that you brought everything out on, that we saw the prior picture, right?
Correct.
Is this how you find it in this loose state?
This is once we empty it out onto the paper.
But that's what I'm trying to clarify. Is this after you emptied out of the black bag?
Correct.
This is not after you opened up any individual bags that were within the black bag?
No.
So it was in a loose state, is what you're saying, the items?
Correct.
I don't have any objection.
Stage 42, file 2. Is this photograph 8?
Yep,
5, I think.
exactly.
5, admitted as a full exhibit.
And that would be folder 2 is admitted. in
And
its
for this
entirety.
monster girl that's sitting right over there.
If I may, sir, I'm going to draw your attention to the screen behind you.
She knew what was going on.
And briefly, sir, just running through the photographs. This is photo 1 of file 2. What is depicted on that screen, please?
The trash can in front of Scott's Jamaican Baker.
And picture 2? What is depicted, please?
That's the contents of the trash can at that location.
Now, with respect to the contents, is this before or after you emptied it into a black bag?
That's before, that's as we found.
Ooh, this is
And
getting
what did you then do? By the way,
interesting.
did you take that photograph?
I did.
What did you do after you took the photograph?
We emptied that trash into our trash bag and seized it.
Did you log it or give it an evidentiary number?
Yes,
What was that number?
I don't recall off the top of my head. I'd have to look at my report.
She knew about all this.
Well, I'm actually going to move on at this point, Your Honor. I'll get that after. Sir, picture 3. What does that depict?
That's the trash can once we remove the items from it.
Okay. With respect to the white on the bottom, can you just describe what that is?
Just miscellaneous trash.
Okay, did you seize those items?
I don't recall.
And what about down here on the bottom left, if you could see the cursor? Did you seize these items?
I don't recall.
And picture 4, sir. What does that depict?
So that's a brown paper labeled Albany and Blue Hills, which is I thought were the intersection where we're at. And that's our trash bag with the contents of that trash receptacle in our trash bag.
And picture 5.
That's the contents of the trash once we emptied it out. And we're at Troop H Garage in Hartford.
What day, again, did you seize this garbage?
May 30th.
Did you make any other stops in Albany Avenue on that day?
We did.
Where did you go?
The next location was Albany and Green Street.
Sir, I'm going to draw your attention to the screen. State is playing 36. Now I'm going to draw your attention to the screen behind you, sir. I'm gonna pause it there. Do you see the intersection that you went to that day?
I do.
Is it depicted on the screen?
It is.
If you wouldn't mind, sir, please going up and pointing to that intersection. In the upper left-hand corner, if I can. Is there a garbage canister in that corner, sir?
It is.
I don't know.
And with respect to
No
the
idea.
streets, do you know what the street names are?
Yeah, right.
And this right here, I believe, is Green Street.
Hmm.
Do you know what the building is at the corner?
I don't.
Now, when you got to that intersection, what did you do?
We photographed the area and searched the trash in that trash can.
When you say you searched the trash in that trash can, did you do it on site?
No,
When you were there on Albany Avenue in that intersection, what exactly did you do there?
all right, so we photographed it. We checked there was trash in that trash can. And then we took the trash from that trash can, put it into our trash bag and brought it back to the Troop H barracks.
Was that another black bag?
It was.
And did you search it on scene or go through that bag at all while you were on Albany Avenue?
No,
And did you go to when you say barracks, is that Troop H?
correct, Troop H.
Okay, you can have a seat, sir. And go back to states 42, please. File 3. I'm going to ask you, sir, to take a look at the screen in front of you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that?
I do.
What is it?
That's a overall photograph of the trash can and the street signs of the location where we were at.
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
Oh, excuse me.
Is it a fair and accurate
If you're
representation?
just coming
of that
in, we
intersection?
are talking
It is.
trash.
State would, actually, I believe this might have already gone in, but state would offer it anyway. If I may move on, I believe that went in through another witness. Photograph 2, sir. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
This is just a different view of the trash can at that location, Albany and Green Street.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like that day?
It is.
Did you take that photograph as well?
I did.
State would offer 2 as well, Your Honor. And then if I can, one more. 3, sir, what is depicted in that photograph?
That's an overall view of the trash can at that location, Albany and Green Street.
Same questions. Did you take that photograph?
I did.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of the trash can at Albany and Green?
It is.
And is that the trash can that you looked through and seized that day?
It is.
The state would offer 1, 2, and 3, Your Honor.
No objection.
So page 42, is this file 3 or file 2?
This is file 3, Your Honor.
File 3, photographs 1, 2, and 3, admitted as full exhibit.
Thank you. Will not go on. There you go. You can take a look at the screen behind you, sir. And what's depicted in that photograph, please?
Yeah, overall view of the area where the trash can that we searched.
And that's is the trash can depicted in that photograph?
It is.
And is that the bottom middle of the photograph?
Yes.
Thank you. File 2 or file 3, picture 2. What is that?
That's just a different view of the trash can and the street signs at that location.
And picture 3.
Overall view of the trash can prior to searching.
Now, with respect to searching it, did you utilize the same procedure that you utilized in Blue Hills, Adam, the bakery, Jamaican bakery, and Milagros?
Yes.
And what procedure is that?
Basically, we documented it with photographs first, and then we took the trash contents from that trash can, placed it into our trash bag, and transported it back to Troop H in Hartford.
I'm going to show you a photograph in front of you, picture 4. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the contents of the trash prior to us seizing it. That's as we found it.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, as you found it, this is prior to you putting it into a garbage bag?
Correct.
Okay, did anybody touch it or move it
Pretty
or go
much.
through it at that point?
No.
I think so.
What did you do after taking this photograph?
Yeah,
We removed that trash, put it into
I
our
think they
trash
did just
bag,
luck out.
and transported it back to Troop H.
But did you take a photograph of the
Of
garbage
course, our
can
trash is
with
once a
the
week.
items removed?
Yes.
I'll show you picture 5.
What, 5 days later?
Is that a fair and accurate representation of the garbage canister after the items were removed?
It is.
Right? 5
And
days
did you
later?
take that photograph as well?
I did.
State would offer 4 and 5, Your Honor.
Is there an objection?
I'm just looking, Your Honor.
He's just looking. His wheels are turning.
I have no objection.
So stage 42, file 2 or
File
3?
3.
File 3,
Yeah.
photos 4 and 5,
Yes, sir.
admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. Sir, do you see that picture behind you?
I do.
Now, I want to draw your attention to, by the way, is this a photograph of the garbage prior to you seizing it?
It is.
I'm going to draw your attention up to this white piece right here. Do you see that object?
I do.
Was that how it appeared in 2019 on the garbage?
It was.
Okay. Did you later find out to be what that item was?
I did.
What is it?
It's zip ties.
And down here, this piece right here,
Yeah.
the cursor, you can describe that, please?
Yep, so originally I thought it was a plastic trash bag. I later identified it as a poncho.
And
Poncho.
what color is it?
It's clear with a red blood-like substance in it.
And here, this red bent object, do you see the cursor, sir?
I do.
Was that what it appeared like in the garbage that day?
It was.
And did you later find what it was?
I did.
What is it?
It's a bent mop or broom handle.
Mm.
Did you take the entire
Oh.
contents of this garbage?
I did.
Oh.
Did you bring it to Troop H and
Yes.
do the same process that you did before?
Oh.
Same process as the other trash cans.
And were you able to go through this garbage canister when you arrived in Troop H?
I was.
And briefly, picture 5, is that the garbage after it had been removed?
Is it against
Yes.
the law
And
to
these
throw away a mop?
loose items on the bottom, did you take those?
I don't recall.
Yeah, if it's evidence in a crime thing, it could be against the law then.
Sir, I'm going to show you.
I'm sorry, I think
Photo
I
in
was
front of you?
yapping.
Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph? This is photo 6.
I do.
Frankie? What is it?
So that's brown paper with the location, Albany and Green Street, written in marker. And that's our trash bag with the contents of the trash that we found at that location in the Troop H garage.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of your trash bag containing the contents of Albany and Green garbage canister on May 30th, 2019?
It is.
Thank you. And I'm going to show you one more. Picture 7. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the overall contents once we emptied it out onto the brown paper.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of the contents of the garbage canister that you put in the black bag on May 30th, 2019 out of Albany and Green?
It is.
State would offer 6 and 7.
A mop was found.
Stage 42, file 3, photo
Is that what you're
67,
referring to?
admitted as a full exhibit.
Sir, if you could take a look behind you. If you again, please could just describe what's depicted on that photograph.
So this is in the Troop H garage. And basically it's brown paper with Albany and Green Street. That's the location of where we seized the trash from. And this is our trash bag with the trash contents that we seized in the trash bag.
And picture 7.
That's the trash once it's emptied out onto the brown paper. That's the contents of the trash.
And I'm going to draw your attention to that photograph, please. And we talked about the white objects. Are those depicted here?
They are.
And what is this?
Those are zip ties.
Did you seize items out of this garbage?
We did.
Okay. I'm going to draw your attention as well to, I believe what we just, in the photographic proceeding of, in the garbage contained in the can.
How stupid can you
Is that
get? Are you
this,
really going to throw trash in a
have you called it
public
poncho?
I did.
trash
that
can to
this
get
item
rid
down
of
here?
murder
Yes.
evidence?
With respect to
Give me
This
a
item.
break.
this, can you please describe it?
So that's a black trash bag, which we opened and later found a long sleeve
Yeah.
shirt and a bra.
And with a bloody
Could you describe
shirt?
the long sleeve shirt and the bra, please.
Long sleeve shirt is cut. It's a vineyard vine shirt, and it is covered in a blood-like substance along with the bra.
And was the bra cut as well,
Yes,
A bra.
covered in the blood-like
Oh, this is
substance?
getting better.
Did you cut, you opened this bag?
I did.
Oh. Okay.
Draw your attention.
We're
up here to
finally
the
getting a
mop.
maybe
Is that also
somewhere.
what was contained in that garbage canister in that picture? Now, over here, This item, sir, what is it?
It's a razor blade.
And did you seize that as well?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And as you went through this garbage, sir, did you take individual photographs of each of the
I
items?
bet the defense is
How
shaking
did
in their
you do
boots
that?
now.
So the overall trash was identified as exhibit number 502. Any item of evidence that we seized from the trash can was given a letter. So for example, 502A, 502B.
And briefly, if I can, I'm going to go through some photographs with you. Sir, if you can, take a look at the screen in front of you. For the record, the
Yeah.
monitor to the jury is off. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the later identified as a poncho with a blood-like substance on it.
Did you seize that as evidence
I did.
and gave it a number?
Yes,
What was that?
502A.
And did you take that photograph?
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like?
It is.
With respect to the bottom corner, there's some, I guess, markings on the bottom. Is that what it looked like that day as well?
It is.
What is that?
The trash was wet and it was leaking.
And is that from that, I guess, 502A?
Yes.
And over here on the right, what is that? Or left, I should say.
That's what I believed is flakings from, part of it was dry, part of it was wet. And that's what fell onto the paper as we opened it up.
And is this photograph a fair and accurate representation of 502A?
It is.
State would offer 502A.
No objection.
502A admitted as a full exhibit.
Oh, that's right. Photograph 8 out of 502A.
States 42, file 3, photograph 8, admitted as
you.
a full exhibit.
Sir, did you seize this item?
I did.
Okay, and with respect to seizing it, if I may just have a moment, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mic was off. I'm not a really quiet eater, so. Oh my God. Oh my, what is it, mommy? Okay. Oh my gosh. The plot is thickening.
I do. Basically, this is a evidence bag with exhibit 502A, which is the poncho with blood-like substance within it.
How do you know?
Because there's an evidence label on it.
Okay. Is there and has it gone, when it was seized, did it go anywhere else?
It did. It looks like it went to the state laboratory.
Am I the only one that thinks this is juicing up?
Well, state would offer it.
No objection.
So that's states 43.
State 43.
States 43
Oh my
admitted as a
gosh.
full exhibit.
Looks like a murder kit. Ooh.
If I may just have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. All right. All right, you guys. Here it is. It is. It is. Let's go clean up our murder. Michelle, if you really love me, you'd help me out. Oh, I've seen this. Oh, God.
Sir, do you recognize this item?
I do. That's exhibit number 502A. That's what was a clear poncho, blood-like
I'm
substance.
losing my
It was
appetite
your poncho?
for lunch.
Yes.
So with respect to the poncho that I'm holding, up here on, I don't know if you can see it, sir, but on the top, it looks like there are cuts.
Yes.
I'm so glad she's using gloves.
Was that in that condition when you did that day?
Yes.
And there are, I guess, numerous markings and things on this. Do you know what that is?
No,
Do you know if this went to the lab at all?
I do know it went to the lab.
And did they take action on it?
They did.
I'm going to ask you actually to just take a look at the top, the ends edging on here. See this red like markings?
I do.
Does that look like that photograph all over this poncho when you picked it up that day?
Yes.
And you indicated with respect to the stuff on the bottom of the photograph up there, that it was from this item.
Yes.
Do you know which part it was from?
No, when we took it out, a lot of it was wet, so it was just leaking everywhere.
Thank you. Yes, if you can, would you mind? Thank you. Yeah, can I shut up? May I have a moment, counsel?
All right, there's 4 of you in here, so what are y'all thinking now? Do we have a murder on our hands? Do we have Michelle? Is she connected? Yeah, is she? Are we seeing any connection here? I don't know.
Exhibit 42, admitted as a full exhibit.
I'm sorry, I'm cleaning up my area here. I have like 3 hobbies on my desk. You're ready. My
You
sewing,
recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
crafts.
What is it?
Yes, she is connected. I
That's another.
don't see
clear
how
bag.
just,
Well, that's a
yeah,
clear
it
bag
all
with a blood-like
points to
substance.
him. Yes, it does, and that's disgusting.
Did you learn whether this was a poncho as well?
I don't remember.
And they were known to show you these ones for. Do you recognize that?
I do.
But they have to show the connection to him to get to her,
That's the package that
in my
item
opinion.
number 502B is contained.
Maybe they're establishing there was a murder.
And what is 502B?
Basically a
That could
clear,
be it.
clear plastic bag with blood-like substance on it.
I don't know.
Offer 24?
No objection.
Stage 44, admitted as a full exhibit.
I do. That's Exhibit 502B, which was a clear plastic bag with blood-like substance, later identified as a poncho.
Now, there's a lot of, like grayness on this.
Yes,
Do you know what that is?
I do.
What is it?
It's a fingerprint powder.
You know, this item where you're in the left?
Yes, it did go to the left.
Actually, draw your attention a little bit. To the, I guess, the left side. Do you recognize what's depicted on the left side of this item?
I do.
What's depicted on the left side of this item?
It's a blood-like substance.
Is that in the same condition as the day you seized it from May 30th?
Yes,
Now, you indicated the other poncho was wet in some parts.
yes.
This one,
I don't recall.
could you take a look at the screen as well on the upper right? What is depicted on that photograph?
That's remnants from the bag transferred onto the brown paper.
Then I can break it, we'll repackage these and see what how they are.
It is 11:15 now. Attorney Manning, do you wish to take the morning recess now?
May I just take a look at what is the next one? We can take the recess now, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll stand in our morning recess. Please do not discuss the case. We will return at 11:35.
All right. This honorable court will now close at 11:35.
Okay. All right. Does this move the needle? Um, well, God, I keep saying today. Okay, so is this moving the needle for me? A little bit. I have to admit, yeah. Is it moving the needle toward her? Is it moving more towards her now? I guess I would have to say, I got to get those off because I feel like I'm speaking in a tunnel. Yes and no is my thoughts right now. I think what they're doing is they're showing a good picture of how it's all going to come back to her, and okay, let's all feel Lori. Let's all feel Debbie in. Debbie, what we saw contents of garbage, and we saw, did you see the blood? Okay, here's all the things that we saw so far. Okay, Mommy, you've been listening to it closely too. We saw a bloody shirt so far. We saw a poncho. We saw maybe a handle of a mop. Yeah, I get that, a little thing in there. And We saw a lot of makings of a good murder kit, just like Mommy said. And yeah, while they're doing that, let's see if we could kind of catch up on some things for you. Here's what we saw. Yeah. Okay. I think this is a good thing to do for Lori. I mean, for Debbie. Gosh, I'm sorry. Debbie, here we go. I'm just going to go through some stuff.
In the
Here
photographic
is
proceeding.
one of the trash
in
talks.
The garbage contained in the can. Is that this, I guess?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
DePronto?
some plots coming in.
Is that this item down here?
Oh,
It
okay.
is.
All right, Debbie.
With respect to this item.
Is this helping, Debbie? Because we're just
Can you
going to
please
do a little
describe it?
rewind with you.
So that's a black trash bag, which we opened and later found a long sleeve shirt and a bra.
Okay, and a bra.
Could you describe the long?
I think this is a good place to
Long sleeve shirt is
go.
cut.
Sure.
It's a Vineyard Vines shirt, and it is covered in a blood-like substance along with the bra.
Yeah, who has a bloody bra?
the
Do you ever
bra cut as
have
well?
Yes,
And covered
I
in
have
blood-like
blood for
substance?
the women.
yes,
Sorry.
Did you cut, you opened this bag?
I did.
So what we're doing now, for the people that are just joining us, we are showing trash.
Draw your attention up here to the.
Literally, we're talking
mop.
trash.
Is that also what was contained in that garbage canister in that picture that we saw?
It was.
And this is the stuff
Over
that
here,
they are finding. I'm glad we're doing
this
this.
item,
yeah,
sir,
'cause-
what is it?
It's a razor blade.
And did you seize that as well?
I did.
No problem.
And as you went through this garbage, sir, did you take individual photographs of each of the items?
I did.
How did you do that?
So the overall trash was identified as exhibit number 502. Any item of evidence that we seized from the trash can was given a letter. So for example, 502A, 502B.
And
Yes,
briefly, if I can.
They are
I'm
zip
gonna go through
ties.
Some photographs with you. Sir, if you can, take a look at the screen in front of you. For the record, the monitor to the jury is off. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That's the later identified as a poncho with a blood-like substance on it.
Did you seize that as evidence
I did.
and gave it a number?
Yes,
What was that?
502A.
And did you take that photograph?
I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what it looked like?
It is.
With respect to the bottom corner, there's some, I guess, markings on the bottom. Is that what it looked like that day as well?
It is.
What is that?
The trash was wet and it was leaking.
And is that from that, I guess, 502A?
Yes.
And over here on the right, what is that? Or left, I should say.
That's what I believed is flakings from, part of it was dry, part of it was wet. And that's what fell onto the paper as we opened it up.
And is this photograph a fair and accurate representation of 502A?
It is.
I know,
State
me
would
too.
offer 502A.
No objection.
502A admitted as a full exhibit.
Oh, that's right. Photograph 8 out of 502A.
States 42, file 3, photograph 8.
This is
admitted as a
disgusting
full
to me.
exhibit.
Sir, did you seize this item?
I did.
Okay, and
In blood.
with respect to,
Looks like one of the
excuse me,
packages.
if I may just
looks
have
like
a moment, Your Honor.
I don't know what it looks like. Oh, God. To go through that trash.
If I may just approach.
How could she not know what was going on during the dumping of this trash. I'm sorry. Our debate last night, I still think this is not normal.
I do.
Period.
Basically, this is a evidence bag with exhibit 502A, which is.
I'm glad we're
contraband
rewriting
alcohol-like
this
substance
for you,
within it.
Debbie, because it's just a good
Because there's an evidence
review
label
for
on it.
me.
Is there a, and
You
how
see
did it
something
go
new
on the
sometimes
overseas? Did it go
different
anywhere else?
the second time that you
It
missed
did.
the
It looks
first
like
time.
it went to the state laboratory.
Maybe this will help.
And by the way, well, say what author, Your Honor.
No objection. So that's stage 43.
Stage 43.
Stage 43
Great.
is admitted as a full exhibit.
I was hoping this was going to happen. We can see what's going on with the bag
I may just have a
and the
little.
trash.
Yeah.
I think this is what's going to be today. Speaking of, when they first started this morning, the state did say that they are going to hear from this guy is Sergeant Dugan, and today we're going to see some more video surveillance. It's not normal. A good defense would try to make it look like she was there and he forced her because he is known to be violent.
I do.
What is it?
That's exhibit.
But you gotta
number,
you gotta
502A.
realize
That's the, what was a clear.
she
poncho
was living with
of
him
substance.
It
during
was
this
clear poncho?
murder.
Yes.
So with respect to the poncho that I'm holding, up here.
But you're right. This is a good point, Mommy. This is an excellent point.
Yes.
I don't know if it's forced.
Yes.
Maybe
There are
got caught up like Charlie did.
numerous markings.
Hello, everybody who just came in. We are looking at trash.
No.
We are getting more
Do you know
evidence
if this
coming
went to the
in.
lab at all?
We
I
have
do know
found
it
this
went to
bloody
lab.
poncho that we're
And
doing.
did they take
A
action
black
on it?
bra,
They did.
a mop, a
I want to
shirt,
ask you actually to
and
look
God
at
only knows what else we're
the
gonna find
edges
during this
on
whole
here.
entire thing.
See this red like marking?
Um,
I do.
on the edge?
You know, since he
Does that look like that photograph
has a record of being intimidated
Yes.
and being totally
And you
violent,
indicated
yeah,
with respect to,
anything's possible.
the
And she
stuff on
got
the
caught up in all
photograph
this.
up there, that it was from this item.
If
Yes.
he intimidated her,
I don't care
wouldn't
which
she
part it's from.
No, when we took it out, it was,
say that
a
during
lot
the
of it was wet, so it was
interrogation?
just
I don't
leaking
know.
everywhere.
Thank you. I may just have one moment here.
I haven't heard of that, Debbie. I haven't. I haven't heard of any of things.
Yes.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, shut up. May I have a moment, counsel?
They broke up? I haven't heard of anything like that. So this is all new to me that what you're telling me. Huh? Oh, you don't remember where you heard it? Interesting.
I may approach the clerk, Your Honor, while-
Yeah.
No, things are just speculation at this moment. That's probably, I don't know. I need to investigate this further.
If you wouldn't mind, Your Honor, I may need assistance from Attorney Moran with the photo records. We exhibit 42 is not can be admitted with no objection.
But
42 admitted as a full exhibit.
we are now seeing
Yes, the next one.
some actual murders
File 3, picture 9. Sir, I'm going
items.
to draw your attention to the screen behind you. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is it?
That's another clear trash, well, that's a clear bag with a blood-like substance on it.
Okay, that's a clear bag with a whole bunch of blood.
I don't remember.
I'm glad we're doing this for those who are joining us now. We are reviewing the tape. This is an actual live tape. This is just a review.
That's the
We are
package
on a
that
break. I thought
item
it'd be a
number
good
502
idea
is
to put this
contained.
on so we can all just review it together with those
Basically
who
a
just came in.
clear plastic bag with blood-like substance on it.
Debbie, I can try to find one. I think there was a little bit of integration,
No objection.
but I don't know if
644
I
admit
found a
as
full one yet.
exhibit.
I would like to see it too. Yes. Lori, just so you know, we are reviewing right now. This is not going on at this particular moment. This is not a real live right now. This is a review. And yes, grab some coffee, hot coffee. Just get your beverage, whatever you like to drink, get your snacks going. Well, I don't know if you want snacks saying this, but yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, this is a review, honey. This is a review. No. Oh, well, nope. We're still
do.
watching this. I like to review it while we're doing
That's
on break, don't you?
502B, which was a clear plastic bag with blood-like substance.
Yeah, sure. I like to do this while they're on break. That way we have stuff to talk about and
Yes.
observe together.
I do. It's a fingerprint powder. Yes, it did go to the lab.
So for those of you who are joining us right now, you're not really, you're not
I do.
chatting, which is okay. I would just like to tell
It's
everybody
blood-like
this
substance.
is a rewind of part of the trial that was before they go on break. This is just to get people
Yes.
caught up, and just to let you know that we are seeing
I don't recall.
actual trash and trash bags of the murder items. Yes, we are.
That's remnants from the
And
bag.
this is remnants
transferred
from the
onto
bag.
brown paper.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll keep you updated, Debbie, because trust me, I'm sure we will all want to see this stuff again together. No worries there.
It is
No worries.
11:15 now.
Always
Attorney
do a
Manning
recap
will
during the
take
middle of the week or
morning
end of the
recess
week.
now.
May I just take a look at what is the next one? We can take the recess now, Your Honor.
Ladies
So
and
anyway,
gentlemen,
here's
we'll
the
stand in our
recess.
morning recess. Please do not discuss the
Um,
case. We will return at 11:35.
Okay, 11:35, and it's 11:31 their time. And yeah, so Lori, you have any questions, concerns? Anybody? You too, Debbie. You just came in. Oh, gee. Okay, so well, we haven't really gotten that far yet. I don't know. Maybe I just. Yeah, well, yeah. Debbie, we will actually rewind some of this, and we'll do some recaps during the week. Yeah, we'll probably have a different witness. And how many do you think it's a good idea to have a recap sometime in the evening? I don't know. You guys are probably sick and tired of looking at this stuff. I don't know. Just kind of for those who just haven't been able to come in and talk. Just I was thinking about that. I was also thinking about other witnesses to talk about, or okay, recap would be good. Yeah, and just kind of putting it all together, because this has just been pieces of bits of trials. I have to admit to all of you, I love trials that do not make sense. I don't know why, I just do. Okay, so it'd be nice. Okay. Yeah. It was a good day for everyone. I'm always flexible. I'm retired. So this is why the defense is probably really nervous while this is all coming to play. And this is where the state is showing, yes, indeed, there was a murder. They established that. I think they had to establish that there was a murder. It to me, it's just coming into play. Well, you can change what you think. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, there's 5 of you, and we are going to see if I can schedule a time where we can do a recap, maybe on a weekend day. I don't know. People are busy on weekends.
Please be seated. Thank you. We can bring the jury in. Would counsel stipulate, please?
Yes, sure.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Attorney Manning.
Sergeant Duggan is present, please. Good morning, sir.
Well, I hope you guys have.
I'm going to show you actually what's been
know what's going on now a little bit.
Next one is, yes, please. File 3, picture 10, out of states 42. If you could take a look behind you, sir. And what does that say?
That's an overall picture of a sponge that we found within the trash.
Sponge.
Now, look above the sponge, the photograph. In the photograph, there's dots and other stuff on the ground.
Me too.
Can you say what those are?
They
Yeah,
haven't.
the sponge was wet, and there was debris attached to the sponge when we removed it from the trash,
What do you mean by debris?
like grass or leaf-type material.
Is that depicted on that photograph?
It is.
If you wouldn't mind shooting up at the screen, please, so I can out. The center to middle upper part of the photograph, is that correct?
Yes.
You know, on the left side, sort of where you're standing in the photograph, there's the marking. What exactly is that?
Just dirt and debris.
It's kind of in a pattern. Is that
A dark sponge.
Might be a footprint.
and did you move that?
I'm gonna zoom in on
Was
all that.
Your footprints or another safety troopers?
Probably mine.
Did you take this photograph?
I did.
Sorry, I got lint on my shirt.
Sir, if you can have a seat. I'm just going to show you, actually.
Looks like there might be a little trace of blood.
45 is- Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
That's evidence packaging. That packages, that's the sponge is in evidence packaging.
Is that 502C, what we see depicted on that photograph behind you?
It is.
Thank you, Steve, would offer it.
States 45 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
Please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, notification button, all those good YouTubey things. All of it just warms my heart to let me know that you like me. Or don't.
Sir, is that the sponge that you seized out of the garbage can? Sir?
It is.
Okay. She's showing the sponge.
No, sir, if I can, I'm going to draw your attention to the red marks on the, if I hold it lengthwise, upper right-hand side, do you see those?
I do.
Do you know where those came from?
I believe.
Let me ask you a question, but actually before I do that. Did this item go to the lab?
It did.
It did, okay. And with respect to these markings, would those be from the lab?
They would be from the lab.
Do you have any, you don't have any knowledge about that?
No.
Move on, please, to file 3, picture 11.
Glove.
And what's that one? Thank you. Sir, take a look behind you. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is depicted on that photograph?
It's a black glove that was found within the trash contents.
And did you seize that as evidence?
I did.
Did you give it an evidence number?
I did. 502D.
I'm going to show you also. We'll mark as page 46. Do you recognize this item, sir?
I do.
What is that item?
It's Exhibit 502D in evidence packaging.
And did you seize this?
I did.
State would offer it.
No objection.
That states 46.
Yes, sir.
States 46 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish, Your Honor?
Yes.
I love this judge's voice.
I may just have a moment, counsel. Yeah, just have one moment, Your Honor. Sir, with respect to 46, did that also go to the lab?
It did.
If I may just approach this way, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I mean, just
So
double
this
check,
is
Your
gonna
Honor.
be 47 to the 46.
46, if these items complete, be marked as 46A for ID solely.
Thank you. 46A for ID.
Thank you. Sir, do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is it?
It's a black glove. It's Exhibit 502D.
Did you seize this from the garbage that day?
I did.
Sir, I'm gonna have you take a look at the screen behind you. Do you recognize that? This is photograph 12.
I do.
What is it?
It's a pair of gloves.
Did you take that from the scene from the garbage can that day?
I did.
Why did you seize these gloves as evidence?
So upon inspection of the gloves, there was a blood-like substance on both sets of gloves. Therefore, we seized them as a pair.
Where on the glove did you find blood-like substance?
Multiple areas on the glove.
Could you please describe them, please?
If you zoom in on the picture, I can point to the areas.
If you don't mind being up there. If you-
Why would you throw these in a
Zoom on
public
this,
garbage
you can see
can?
specks,
Oh,
blood on the glove.
Did you observe that when you went through the garbage on May 30th, 2019?
I did.
Any other areas?
I don't see
In
any.
different photographs that'll show.
I don't see it.
This is 13. Is this the other side of the gloves?
Yep.
Is there an area depicted on the back of the gloves that has blood-like substance?
Okay, there I do. Oh, let me zoom in.
And is that the
Okay.
emblem, I guess?
It
Is
is
that a good way to say that?
logo of the glove.
And
Why didn't you just
Sir,
put them into fire?
Sir, what about the palm of the glove?
So there's specks of blood-like substance on the palm, and there's a blood-like substance
Oh,
on
why?
the edge of the glove as well.
I don't understand what.
And you observed that day?
Did he think
I
he was
did.
going to get away with
Did
this
you use
shit?
these gloves as evidence?
I did.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as states 47.
Yeah, it would be hard to see.
Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is states 47?
Those are the gloves within evidence package.
Why would you throw away murder items in public trash cans? Didn't you learn
Your Honor,
anything?
state would offer 47
from
if it's
Murdoch?
published.
State 47 admitted as a full exhibit.
And videos?
Okay.
Come
Thank
on.
you. If I can, there's actually 2 more photographs. And 15, please. Sir, is that a close-up of the palm?
It's a close-up of the palm, and you can see specks of blood-like staining on the glove.
Thank you. And picture 16, what does that depict?
That's a picture of the logo on the glove. There's blood-like staining on the logo of the glove.
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir.
Well, there was probably blood stains on the glove with the palm side. And we don't see it on the camera because the camera makes things darker. That's why we look 10 pounds heavier, because camera in the shadows and I don't know.
I'll show you one at a time, sir. I may. Do you recognize what this item?
I do.
Does it show the blood-like stain that you were discussing?
It does.
If you could perhaps, if I may stand. in your honor.
Yes.
Sir, if you could just point out on the glove where the area was. And for the record, he's pointing to the, I guess, middle of the glove, the palm where the fingers, I may just. And the other. And sir, to your knowledge of this, also go to the lab.
They did.
Is there anything on this glove? That you see on the corner?
In the lower left corner.
So if you could take a look at the screen behind you, this is photograph 17. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
It's a black bag.
And did that come out of the garbage?
It did.
Albany green?
Yes.
What was it?
It was just a black bag with a blood-like substance on the bag.
It may approach 648, sir. Do you recognize that item?
I do.
What is that item?
It's the black bag within evidence packaging.
Is it the same black bag that is contained on that photograph behind you?
It is.
The state would offer it.
No objection.
48, Your Honor, may I publish?
State 48 admitted as a full exhibit. You may.
How come I can hear that real well? Nothing speaking.
Is this the item that came out?
It is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should ask you, why the brown paper bags? Why are things packaged in brown paper bags?
Brown paper bags is the best way to preserve these types of evidence. It allows the material to breathe.
Does it, if it was placed in a plastic bag, and could that potentially damage
It
any
could.
evidence contained? So take a look at the screen behind you. So that is photograph 18. Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph?
I do.
What is it?
It's a set of keys that were found within the trash. Those were given evidence exhibit 502G.
And did you seize them as well for evidence?
I did.
Ma'am, my dear.
Yes.
This set of keys that we're seeing on the screen there, did you attempt to fit them to anything?
I did not know.
You know, if anyone tried to fit them to
That's a
anything?
good question.
And-
Well, this is not voir dire.
No, it's about relevance.
Well,
Oh dear.
I'll withdraw it, Your Honor, to move it along. If
thank
you
you.
wish to continue.
I'm
I'll
finished.
withdraw my objection.
You may proceed.
If she's withdrawing the offer, then I'm withdrawing the objection.
I'm not withdrawing the offer. I object to the question. If he wishes to retire, Your
Well,
Honor, I want to take this up.
The question, this is voir dire by the defense. The question was, did you try to fit these keys to anything?
And your answer was,
I did not.
so my objection is just relevance.
Well, they haven't been offered.
I have offered them, Your Honor. They were seized out of the garbage that day on Albany Avenue. He answered, he took a photograph of it and what is contained in that photograph.
And
In
what,
that item is what is contained in that photograph. that he took. He
and
seized
what
it.
would be the number if you
It is 49.
offer them? Thank you. And the objection is to the offer, correct?
Yes, on the basis of, well, not relevant to Mr. Troconis, but I would also submit it's not relevant to the case. It was something that was found in a garbage bag that is not followed up with anything as far as I know.
Well, let's walk through this again. The offer's been made. These keys were seized out of the location at Albany and Green. The offer is as a full exhibit. The objection is relevant.
Yes, Your Honor, and if I may, anything that comes out of that garbage is, in the state's view, relevant. If I wanted to introduce a piece of rice, I would be here asking that, and it'd be up to the court to make that call, because I do feel that anything that is contained in that garbage can is pertinent to this case one way or another, whether excluding or including in this case, but also just for the fact that for the police investigation, my offer would be, Your Honor, that the police did take steps with respect to these keys after they were seized. So that will come in as well. So with respect to the offer of proof, this is the exhibit 49 is the item that is seized on that day on May 30th at Albany Avenue. The witness testified that he took a photograph of it, he labeled it, and it was seized as evidence. So the state would offer it.
Well, however, in each of the other offers, the state asked, what led you to seize the particular item? The court did not hear that question with regard to this item.
Well, to be fair, Your Honor, I don't believe I asked that until after with respect to the ponchos. They had been intended.
Okay, why can't they see this without a jury present?
So then I proceeded to ask specifics with respect to the item. So if Your Honor wishes, I can continue more with respect to this, but I can ask.
Well, the
him.
court is going to sustain the relevance objection because simply retrieving the item from the garbage may have been the decision of Sergeant Duggan, but the relevance is not clear, so that's the stain.
Oh. Oh, so it's not relevance. Mm.
Sir, do you see the picture behind you?
I do.
What photograph is that?
19.
Picture 19. Sir, what is that?
It's a picture of zip ties.
Did you find those out of the garbage on Albany Avenue that day?
I did.
And did you package them and bring them back to Troop H?
I did.
You did. And with respect to these items, did you then subsequently separate them from the other items?
Yes.
Similar to you did every item that was contained in that garbage can?
Yes.
And did you photograph it?
Yes.
And did you then seize it as an evidentiary number?
Yes.
What evidentiary number did you seize it as?
502H.
And why did you seize it?
So on the zip ties, there's a blood-like substance on several areas of the zip ties, and I found that relevant.
In the course of it, by the way, you testified earlier that you were searching the garbage cans. Were you aware of Jennifer Farber Dulos' disappearance?
I was.
And were you aware that the Ford Raptor was seen on video depositing garbage bags the night of Jennifer Farber Dulos' disappearance?
I was.
So would you feel that zip ties would be relevant toward the investigation into the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos?
I'm going to object. What he felt, again, is not relevant, and what's relevant is what the court decides. I'm not objecting to this exhibit, but I'm objecting to the question, letting him give his subjective opinion what's relevant to the case.
Well, there's already been testimony that there was a blood-like substance on the zip tie. So that suggests that the relevance objection is overruled.
I didn't make one. I was objecting to the question of asking him to opine as to what he thought.
Well, there's already been testimony that there was a blood-like substance on the zip tie.
That's fine, if I may, Your Honor.
Yes.
So I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 50. Do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is contained within this, or what is this item?
It's the zip ties contained within evidence packaging.
And are these the zip ties that you seized out of the garbage that day on Albany Avenue on May 30th, 2019?
They are.
Are they the zip ties that you saw the blood-like substance contained on them?
They are.
And are they the zip ties that you seized for 502H?
Yes.
I would ask to publish it at this time.
Yes.
Thank you.
How come that's loud and we can barely hear them speak?
Now, sir, did these also go to the lab?
They did.
And how many zip ties were found in that bag? Do you
There were
recall?
4 pieces of zip tie.
Now, you say pieces. Why do you say that?
Because the zip ties were cut.
Mm.
I can you please put on some gloves, sir? If I may. Now, just briefly, with respect to the zip ties, you said you indicated there was a blood-like substance. If you can, sir, I'm going to hand you over the zip ties. If you could please show the jury where that substance is contained therein. For the record, it would be at the, is that the tie?
I think you dropped.
Oh. Thank you. If you could just explain where the blood-like substance is contained within that.
On this connector piece. Is it that?
And is that a tie that has been cut?
Yes.
Where? Thank you. I'm going to hand you another one, please. And by the way, if I can, just to be clear, these have little tags on them. The one you looked at, is it labeled 52-2?
Yes.
And what is the one that you have in front of you?
52-4.
If you could take a look at 52-4 for me, please. Is that one cut?
No, it's not.
And does it contain any of the blood-like substance that you saw that day?
It does.
If you could please point to where it was.
Yep, they are huge.
And is that at the end?
It is.
Thank you. I'm going to show you 52-3. You could take a look at that. Is that zip
So
tie
basically,
intact?
he dumps the murder items
This zip tie is intact.
into public
And is there any
trash
blood-like
cans,
substance
thinking
on
that
that
they
zip
won't
tie?
even notice they were there. They're just going to be gone forever. Didn't he think of surveillance
It does not
cameras
appear.
in certain areas?
Did that zip tie go to the lab as well?
It did.
I'm going to show you states 52-.
No wonder he deleted himself. You don't want to face this.
Is that zip tie intact?
It is.
And is there any blood-like substance on there that you could see today sitting here 4 years later?
It does not appear to be, no.
If you could take a look at the screen behind you, sir, with respect to the photograph. I will pick that back. Thank you.
Yeah, he hid them in
Answer, do
plain
you see
sight.
those? The zip ties depicted in that photograph.
I don't
Okay. Now, you indicated there were two that were cut.
know
Are
why.
the two that were cut
Oh,
depicted on that photograph?
Ronnie.
Yeah.
I don't
If
know
you could
why
please
he
stand up
did
and
that.
point to it for the jury.
Then dragged her along to do it with him.
And the other two, were those intact?
Those are intact.
On the top one, see on the end of it, where the cursor is, what is that?
That's a blood-like substance.
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir. Oh, that's the other side of the zip ties. Can you take a look at that behind you, sir? 21. And does that also depict the state of the zip ties that day on May 30, 2019?
It does.
Thank you. You can have a seat. Sir, take a look behind you. You recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do.
What is depicted?
It's a white bath towel.
And was that in the garbage canister at Albany and Green on May 30th, 2019?
It was.
Did you seize that as evidence, sir?
I did.
Why?
It was a white bath towel with a lot of blood-like substance on the towel.
And was that what it looked like in 2019?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as states 51. Recognize that?
I do.
What exactly is this item?
That's the bath towel within evidence packaging.
And was that the 502I?
Yes.
State would offer at this time, Your Honor.
Objection. And what is the exhibit number, please?
51.
Page 51 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
I hate to put all that stuff back in or wrap it or yeah, I can hear the package clearly, but not them. What is this?
Sir, is this what the towel looked like? that day
Ew,
back in
a
2019?
towel.
It is.
Thank you. Did this also go to the lab?
It did.
So I'm going to show you what's on the screen behind you.
Broom handle.
What is that, sir?
That is evidence exhibit 502J, which is a mop or broom handle that's broken.
And did you seize that out of the garbage at Albany and Green that day?
I did.
Why did you seize that?
As a small business owner, any extra help you can get in that sourcing process, we'll take it. Fair is such a great consolidator for like, ooh, everything.
Thoughtfully picking the items. That's the fun part.
I was committed. I had to, oh my gosh. I can hear the commercials real well.
Now, sir, when you indicated on the photograph what area had a blood-like
I'll be
stain,
right back.
if you could, if I hold it up here. If you could please show the jury on the actual item where you saw the stain.
So it's in this area?
And that the handle
Yes.
said, was it bent in this position?
Correct, yes.
And what about this piece here? This, was there anything attached to it?
No.
Good to me. So I'm gonna take a look behind you. Do you recognize that item?
I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
It's a set of trash bags.
Did you seize that as evidence in this case?
I did.
Why did you seize that as evidence?
I found that relevant, and I knew, based on information given to us, that the person of interest had dumped trash within trash bags within the trash receptacles on Albany Ave.
So you were actually aware at the time that they were in garbage bags.
Yes,
So did you seize the garbage bags themselves?
yes,
Is that why, one of the reasons why you seized 502K?
yes.
And do you know if how many bags are contained in 502K?
I don't.
And is it knotted in the middle?
It is.
Did you find that unusual?
I did.
Is that one of the factors why you seized it that day?
Yes,
And was that contained inside Albany Avenue and Green on 5/30/2019?
it was.
May I approach the charge order?
Yes.
Now, with respect to the garbage bags that you were informed that the suspect, were you informed it's Fotis Dulos?
Yes,
Were you informed that Fotis Dulos was placing garbage bags in Albany Avenue and given those addresses?
yes,
I'm going to show you what's been marked on page 53. Do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is this item?
That's exhibit 502K, which is the trash bag within evidence packaging.
Now, were there other trash bags that came out of that garbage can?
Yes,
And did you seize those as well?
I did.
Did you seize every black garbage bag that came out of that garbage can?
Yes,
And was that because of the information that you had received?
yes.
Did that item that's depicted in that photograph subsequently go to the lab?
Yes,
At this point, the state would offer 502K, which is 53. Now, there are going to be items I can see in here that will be ID as well, so I would just ask council to.
Before it's open, may I have one here, just a couple of questions, clarification before I decide whether I'm going to take a position. You indicated that you were just asked questions in terms of seizing everything that was in the receptacle, right?
correct.
This is not, I just want to put, this is not the only thing in that garbage receptacle at Albany Avenue and Green Street that you seized, right?
Correct.
There are also white garbage bags that were seized.
Yes.
They're not in here, are they, in this bag that we're about to open?
No.
They're separate.
Yes.
And is this the way you found it? I mean, it's maybe spread out a bit, but is this the way you actually found these, what we're seeing on the screen there, in that condition, just two ripped bags?
Yes.
And there was just a statement made, there were some other things that are in the bag. Was there anything in those two black bags that are shown on the screen at the time that you took that photograph?
Not to my knowledge. I'm unaware of that.
Okay, so this time, as I understand, it's only the bags that are being offered.
Is everything in 502K? I need to open that. And go through it.
Oh, so, but in terms of what you're, I just through the court, it's just the bags at this point that are being offered?
Maybe if I can just clarify a little bit. So
Yes.
you never opened these bags?
No.
correct? You never looked inside of them, ripped them open, looked to see what was there?
No.
Okay. You seized those bags as they contain in that item, and then it got sent to the lab.
Yes.
Do you have any idea what happened after the lab?
No.
So realistically, Your Honor, all that's being offered at this time would be the items that are seen on the screen, which is the bag tied together. The other, anything that was contained therein, I believe will be going in through the lab, as they were the ones that found it.
That's what I wanted to get clarification. I didn't know whether there was anything that was observed inside the bags, but if it's just bags at this point, I'm certainly not objecting.
Thank you. What would be the exhibit number?
This is Exhibit 53.
Exhibit 53 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, I don't know if the bag itself, the exterior bag is marked to the sticker, but if there's other things in there, I just want the record to reflect. I don't know what that is yet, so I don't want to agree that everything in that bag is admissible, only the one item we just talked about.
Perhaps I should go over to the clerk's, Your Honor. I'm gonna have some of the marks for ID.
Okay, I'm back.
So just with respect to, if I may, Your Honor, Counsel and I are going through to ensure we have everything. So with respect to the item contained in that photograph, do you recall how many bags there were?
I don't recall.
Would you like to look at your report, or would it refresh your recollection to? By
Yes.
the way, you didn't separate them and pull them apart,
I did not.
okay? And you didn't look inside to see what's inside of them?
I did not.
And with respect to, actually, I need a different report. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's okay. I may just have a moment.
Yes.
This is an exception. This is report. May I approach the clerk, Your Honor?
Yes.
Shoot.
So I'm going to show you what's been marked 54 for ID. Please don't read it loud from it, but I'm going to draw your attention to the middle of the page. If you can review that, does it, and see if it refreshes your recollection concerning this exhibit.
I do.
And how many garbage bags was, I guess, contained within this exhibit itself?
4 pieces.
4 pieces? Okay. And did you separate them to designate and give them different names or different numbers?
I did not.
Okay. Did you just package it together so it could be sent to the lab?
Correct.
And if I may, let me just have one moment here.
Sorry,
Your Honor, may I
pardon.
do one more clarification with the state's permission here? When we're looking, sir, when we're looking at the picture, you can't tell whether there's 1, 2, or more bags, correct?
Correct.
When you wrote your report, you referred to it when you were just refreshing your recollection. I just want to see, you said you refreshed your recollection, right?
I did.
You referred to it as 4 pieces of a black plastic garbage bag, right?
Yes.
I'm not objecting.
So this would be states 51, Your Honor. There are items that are going to be marked as A, B, and C. There's actually 3 more items, Counsel. There's 3 more items in here.
So there's no objection to states 51A, B, and C?
No, sir, I'm just offering what's depicted on the screen right now as the garbage bags, as basically
Which is states 51.
51.
I love tomato soup. Yes, this is the defense.
So 53, Your Honor, if I can. 53 would be.
She's the state right there.
53A, B, C, D, and E are for ID only, if I can.
If that was your question, I don't know, Mommy.
So the offer has been made
Oh,
on
here's
state
the state.
51, correct?
51, I apologize, it's my mistake. 51 is already in, it's 53.
Thank you.
And I believe there's no objections. These, those will be for another day.
No objection.
To that item, the bag that we were just talking about.
Tomato
So state
soup and a
53
tomato
Yes, Your Honor, we did these for.
admitted as fully.
bowl. Using a white towel was stupid of them.
By the way, sir, you didn't separate these as they came in?
I did not.
No.
I packaged them just as they were in the photograph.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry I'm eating in front of you guys. I just got hungry. What happened? I'll rewind when I missed. Later.
And you didn't separate this, correct?
No.
No, I was hungry with this trash.
Actually, going back to this first one, is there another inside food bag? Excuse me, just have one moment. Sir,
Oh,
I'll show
okay.
you back to the
Thanks.
First one, there's this big piece hanging out here. And again, you didn't separate these or pull them out.
I did not.
And how many bags did you indicate in the report, sir?
4.
Okay, God, this is annoying. I can hear it.
And sir, if you could take a look behind you. And that is photograph 26. Thank you. Is that one of the bags that you pulled out of the garbage bag that day?
It is.
And was that also seized as evidence and given a marker?
Yes.
And I'm going to move on if I can, sir, to take a look at the photograph behind you, which is photograph 27. Do you recognize that?
I do.
Is that an item that came out of the garbage that day on Albany Avenue and Green Street?
Yes.
What is it a photograph of?
A photograph of a paper towel with blood-like staining on it.
And did you seize it as evidence?
I did.
I may approach states 55. Do you recognize that item?
I do.
And what is it?
It's the item, the paper towel with blood-like staining contained within an evidence packaging.
Why did you seize that as evidence that day?
Found it relevant due to the fact that it had blood-like staining on it.
State would offer 55.
No objection.
States 55 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
Sir, did this also go to the lab?
It did.
Sir, if you could take a look at the picture. This is 28. 28. Do you recognize what's depicted there?
I do.
What is that?
It's a trash bag with a bunch of vegetation in it, i.e. leaves, sticks.
And was that bag seized as evidence as well?
It was.
Why was it seized?
We found it out of place and might be relevant to the investigation.
Was any action taken on that item contained in 5020?
It was.
What was done?
It was sent to a laboratory, agricultural laboratory in Bath.
And, well, I'll stop there if I can. Item behind you, which is photograph 29. Can you take a look at that? What is depicted on that photograph, please?
It's like two pieces of white cloth with a blood-like substance on it.
And did you seize those two pieces that day?
I did.
And did those two pieces come out of Albany and Green
They did.
on May 30th, 2019?
They did.
And why did you seize them as evidence?
They had blood-like staining on them, and I found them relevant.
So may I just approach? I'm going to show you what's marked at C56. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
It's the exhibit contained within evidence package.
And by exhibit contained within the evidence packaging, are you
It's the white paper cloths in an evidence package.
502P?
Yes.
They would offer 56, Your Honor.
States 56 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
Sir, just to be clear, did you, could you please show, if I may just approach, whether it's on the actual item or the photograph, the items of blood-like stain. Front of the bigger, I would say, of the paper towels.
Bigger piece, and it's on the edges of the smaller piece.
Thank you. So if you take a look behind you, that is states 30. 30. I'm sorry, not states 30. Photograph 30 out of states 42. What is that, sir?
It's 2 trash bags.
Did you seize those as evidence?
We did.
Why did you seize it as evidence?
We found it relevant to the investigation
Why is that?
because the person of interest or a suspect, as you would call it, was dumping items of trash in trash receptacle in Hartford.
Yes. Okay. This one has the. States 57, Your Honor.
No objection.
States 57 admitted as a full exhibit.
Did you look inside that bag, sir?
I don't recall.
No. Are these different types of bags than the other ones that you saw in the seats in the garbage?
They are.
Okay, in what way?
These are more of a grocery store type bag.
And so why did you still seize these?
We were told that suspect had thrown black bags in the trash in Hartford.
So you seized all trash?
Yes.
That you could find? Okay. This one has, I guess, something inside of it. Do you recall that?
I don't recall.
Sir, I'm going to show you what's behind you now, please. You can take a look at that. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
It's a razor blade.
Did you find that in the garbage on Albany and Green
I did.
on May 30th, 2019?
I did.
Did you seize that as evidence?
I did.
Why did you seize it as evidence?
I found it relevant because there was blood-like substance on it. Part of the razor blade was broken, and there was a hair-like fiber on the broken razor blade.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as states 58. Do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is it?
It's the broken razor blade within evidence packaging.
And to your knowledge, did this also go to the lab?
Yes.
State would offer it, Your Honor.
Could I, one here,
Yes.
to clarify? Detective, you're referring to this item that we see on the screen, and which is, you looked at the bag that contains what we're seeing on the screen is 502S.
Yes.
Referring to that as a razor blade, is that the term you're using?
I believe a better term would be a scraper with a razor blade attached to it.
Or a box cutter maybe?
That could be another term.
Right, but you're referring to this item as a razor blade. It's actually a tool that's either a box cutter or a scraper that may contain, you said a broken razor blade within.
Yes,
That's what you mean by this.
that's a better representation.
Okay, so you didn't take it apart and see what's inside,
I did not.
but you're talking about this whole item.
Correct.
Okay, I'm not going to object. I just wanted to clarify what we were talking about.
And this is states
58, Your Honor.
58 admitted as a full exhibit.
May I publish?
Yes.
I may just have one moment, Your Honor. No. I may, Your Honor. 58A for ID, Your Honor. And I'm gonna put it back in the whole exhibit for 58.
And so for the record, it's my understanding the state is only offering at this time exhibit 58, box cutter, but not whatever is in this envelope.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So 58 admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. I'm putting 58A inside of it to keep track, Your Honor, but I am only offering this item. No, sir, you indicated there was a broken blade. If I may approach. What did you mean by that?
The top portion here is a razor blade and it's broken.
And you indicated there was a blood-like substance on the blade. Where was that?
It's on the edges of the blade,
Where-
Yes.
Where the actual blade is broken?
where it's actually broken.
Thank you, sir. Sir, take a look at the screen behind you. You recognize that item?
I do.
What is it?
It's a screwdriver?
Did that come out of the garbage at Albany and Green?
Yes,
Was that on May 30th, 2019?
yes,
Now, did you seize that as evidence?
I did.
Why?
Because there was a blood-like substance on it.
And where was the blood-like substance?
On the, can I get up and show you?
If you could, please.
It appeared to be on the shaft portion of the screwdriver.
If I can, sir, I'm going to show you what's been marked as states 59. Do you recognize this item?
Sorry about
Yes.
that, you guys.
What is it?
It's the screwdriver within evidence packaging.
Is it the screwdriver that you took out of the garbage on Albany and Green?
It is,
The one that portrayed on that photograph behind you?
yes.
State would offer it.
No objection.
That states 59.
Yes, sir.
States 59 will be admitted as a full exhibit.
If I may, sir. With respect to states 59, Where was the blood-like stain that you saw? Tool portion, you
Cool.
say?
Yep.
Sir, if you take a look behind you. Do you recognize what's depicted on that screen?
I do.
What is depicted on that screen?
It's a white colored bra with blood-like substance on the bra.
And if you can. Could you go back to the garbage? Go back to picture 7, sir. On stage 42, file 3. That bra we saw on that photograph, is it contained in picture 7?
It is.
If you wouldn't mind, please standing up and run through it.
If you zoom in right here, there's part of the strap and the bra itself.
Now, you indicated previously that you opened that bag. Why that bag?
It was already partially opened, so I could see within it. So I continued to open it up, avoiding the knot area.
And why did you seize the bra? If we can go back to that photograph, please. Thank you.
While we were investigating the disappearance of a woman, where an alleged assault had taken place.
Objection, Your Honor.
Your Honor, it's offered for why he did something.
Again, this goes to why he did something is irrelevant. Basically sees everything is explained, it had a lead-like stain on it. That is the reason why it's been seized. For him to now narrate what he thinks happened is, I think, improper and irrelevant.
Well, the information that Sergeant Duggan received, he did not previously say the information he received concerned an assault, but that does not mean that he's precluded from stating that the information he received also included information about an assault. Overruled.
Sir, was that item seized as evidence as well?
It was.
Was it given an evidentiary number?
It was.
What number was that?
502U.
If you can go to the next picture. Is that what the bra looked like that day?
Yes, that's a different side of it.
Okay. And the next one? What is that, sir?
That's a long sleeve striped shirt with blood-like substance on it that was seized from within that bag.
Oh my gosh, her clothes. Oh goodness. This is really sad to see. Yeah, oh my God.
If I may just have a moment with counsel, Your Honor.
We all wonder that, Lorianne, we all wonder that. I don't know about you guys, but this is really dragging on. Yeah, you do. You just do. I mean, I to be honest with you guys, I'm pretty bored with this. Yeah, I said it. I am. I mean, really, come on. I'm seeing packages is opening up. The only excitement I saw today was true evidence. And I don't know. Yeah, you need one to make sense of this case. One person. Just come out and make sense of it. Why is she on trial? I mean, I'm assuming she did it. Yeah, do I think she did? Yes. Can I prove it? Absolutely no. I see the deceased bra bloody. I see her shirt. I'm surprised they didn't show us her little undies. Okay, I'm going to make an announcement. After they break from lunch, let's break from this trial. How about that? I'm sorry, because I really do have to do something today. I need to get done. So why don't we just go ahead and do that? I'm resume tomorrow.
If I can actually inquire, Your Honor, I'm going to separate the exhibit numbers on this if I can. The entire box was, just to be clear.
I'm waiting for that moment of wow. Saw a few moments today,
Just the
and
box. I believe if we go 61,
a little recap with the remaining of the day some other day.
and if I may inquire, 61 is no objection.
No objection.
Thank you.
61 is admitted as a full exhibit.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And we have based on the representation of what's in it, if there's something else in it, then
Then we can go through as we open it, Your Honor. These have all been sealed. I have
They should have had an opening statement.
62 is a full exhibit as well.
No,
Same
no pass.
revelation. We didn't need to open it, assuming it's what we think is in there.
62 states, 62 admitted as a full exhibit.
Thank you. And 63 is ID at this time, if I may inquire, Your Honor. Thank you. And thank you very much for. Okay, Sergeant Duggan, can I ask you a couple questions about this box?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a box, and within it is a black trash bag with a shirt and a bra.
With respect to what is, we saw a photograph of the bag containing the bra and the shirt previously. Do you remember that?
I do.
And with respect to those three items as a whole, did you seize them together?
I believe we seized them separately.
Okay. And did you give them a F502U number?
Yes,
Okay. So 502U would be the shirt.
the shirt.
502U would be the bra. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and 502U would be the garbage bag it came in as well.
yes.
Okay, now when you package them together, did you package them within the label of 502U?
Yes.
And if you can, with respect to the Was a label given onto the box?
It was.
And what does that label read, please?
One plastic garbage bag tied in a knot containing a shirt and bra with blood-like substance contained within Exhibit 502.
So the shirt and the bra were contained within the bag.
Yes,
So with respect to all three items, did they go to the lab?
they did.
And how do you know that?
There's a lab sticker on the box.
On state 60?
Yes,
Now I'm going to show you the inside of state 60. If I can. Specifically for ID, state 63. Do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is it?
That's the black trash bag contained within an evidence bag.
How do you recognize it?
There's a writing on the bag that says black trash bag,
And how do you recognize that writing?
because I put it there.
So that would be, that's contained in this, that writing on this bag on state 63.
Yes,
So what was contained within 63? I'm going to show you, and by the way, this went
It's
to the
gonna
lab
see her
afterwards,
clothes
so
up
you
there.
can't testify to anything that happened after you.
I can't stand to see her
Correct.
clothes up there.
And so anything that was contained in here was.
I know it's important.
yes,
I'm going to show you the contents of 60. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
That's the black trash bag.
And is that the black trash bag that you seized in connection with the bra and shirt, or that contained the bra and shirt that day?
Yes,
The state would offer it.
Your Honor, I had a side discussion. This went to the lab and it's been altered, so I'm going to object at this time until we hear from the lab people, at which point, as long as that foundation is laid out.
I'm sorry, Mommy.
I submitted the testimony without me even having to do a voir dire, it's in an altered state from when he collected it, and therefore I object at this point. It does require some additional foundation that I would have some questions.
Overruled.
Your Honor, if I may, I have successfully completed in the state's view the chain of custody to indicate that this witness saw the black bag, saw the shirt, the bra contained therein, seized it appropriately, logged it all as evidence. He has identified both the bag.
And Lori Ann, if you're
as
still
well as
in here,
the,
I still wonder too.
the exhibit as a whole. Now, steps on what happened to that
Ooh,
item
Mar, what
after
are
it
you
left his
making?
possession is certainly fodder for cross-examination and further follow-up, which I'm sure there will be, but it goes to its weight with respect to its analysis. of the
yeah,
case,
I agree.
have satisfied that.
Nothing,
So the request is deemed
nothing.
fine.
Nothing.
If I may respond, Your Honor.
I've been connected to her.
Liberal about not objecting to the fact
I just
that
feel like
many
the
of these
trial
items
is at a
went to
dead
the lab.
end.
This is one that there was a lot of lab work done on. It does require a chain of custody for that matter, which I
Yeah.
understand is
I
going
think
to
right
be
now
done.
we just
So I'm
need to go out
objecting.
for dinner.
It's not in the condition it was in.
You're good and we're all good.
By this witness, therefore, he is not it can be marked for
We
ID.
can just have a
We've
fresh line and
established
just
the first step,
tomorrow.
but I believe I'm entitled to show what happened to it,
Mommy
how it
can
was
dinner tomorrow.
changed,
Mommy,
and what it was
what
like when it came back. And again, I am not requiring the state to bring in
breath.
every person who delivered it
Wow.
and drove it, but there is the lab portion of this. And as I said, I've not objected on that basis to the other items. This is one that there needs to be some
We'll just
examination
go to
from
Mommy's
the
house for
lab.
dinner.
So I'm
Oh,
objecting that it comes as a full at this
Probably
point.
find
Well, the witnesses testified.
just because. Yeah,
The bag
just
itself
because.
was pulled from a receptacle.
Can't put somebody in
The bag
prison
was partially
just
open.
because.
Inside of the bag was the bra with blood-like
So far, I just seen the monster.
and the shirt with
Guilty.
blood-like stains. He marked the bag. Counsel's
All this
objection
points
is that
to
the bag
him.
has been altered. So that is not persuasive.
Oh,
in
happy birthday.
Determining whether
To the
the bag
chili
was
and mac and
whether it was
cheese.
the bag that was pulled
Oh,
from the corner of Albany and Green.
Are you gonna make a nice
Overruled.
cake? Maybe you would overroll it.
That is 63 as a full. Your Honor, may I publish these exhibits?
Well, time is 1 o'clock.
Oh,
we can pick up at 2 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
we'll
ladies and
stand in
gentlemen, at 2 o'clock, and we are going to
Luncheon
today.
recess. Please do
Everybody's
not
going to do
discuss the
what you
case. We will
You're
resume
going to
it.
be, she's good,
Let's
you're
say
good,
2:05.
and you do you, and I do me, and you do. Anyway, he wants to make his own cake. Oh, how old is this fellow? You know, I love you all. This is going to be the end of the live stream for today. And, you know, we can make a little bit of a recap, maybe end of the week or whatever we decided as a group. And I was 17 years old, which means 2:45, right? And then we all would rush back and we all would just look at each other, stare at this lovely Connecticut seal, right? Sorry. Oh, well, you're absolutely welcome. I'm coming back. I am for the durance of something this. You should have done the tree house. Oh, well. It's a boring seal. At least Florida had some interesting other stuff in it. Yeah. Sorry, itch my nose. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me today. And I'm sorry, it will be a very short live today. We will resume tomorrow morning as promised, and we'll just plug along and see what happens. And no, and my closing thoughts are this. You cannot put somebody to jail like it was mentioned in my chat room just because. You can't put somebody in prison for the rest of their lives thinking she was part of this with no clear evidence. Yes, we've seen all of the murder things in the sacks, right? All pointing to him, Michelle. I knew the state was going to have a hard time with this case. And here we are, trying to put some pieces together in a very complicated puzzle. It would be nice if we had an opening, but here we are. We didn't. So tomorrow I'll see everybody at the usual time, and have a great day and enjoy the birthday party. Getting ready for it. And take care of yourselves, and we'll see each other tomorrow.